What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Native Marksman channel on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about the Marlin 336 chambered in 30-30 that's been Ranger Point precisioned. That's going to be the best way I can say it, as well as Boyd's hardwood gun stock. Guys, this gun I've had for years, and I've never really talked about it. You may have seen a post or two of it on Instagram, but I'm going to really break this thing down today, give you guys all the details from tip to butt, what I've done to this thing and why I like it so much and why I think this build is the perfect combination of classic with modern lever guns. So let's head over to the workbench and break this down. But before we do that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell. There's a ton of you guys that are watching my videos, and we've only got 300 subscribers. So let's try to bump those numbers up a little bit. It doesn't take any time for you guys. Short, sweet, easy to do, and it really helps me out. So let's head over to the workbench and let's check this thing out. All right, guys, real quick before we get back into that video, I wanted to take a second and talk to you about one of my favorite brands in the firearm industry right now, and that is Magnalens, as you can see on the box and actually on this bag, which we'll talk about in a second. But their flagship product are Magnalens glasses. Guys, when you're at the range, if you're like me, you like over ears. You especially like the over ears that are electronic. But when you go to wear your safety gear or your sunglasses, you got to slide it through there. It's uncomfortable. You get gaps. It's a miserable time. And I've always hated it. I actually switched to in ears because I hated wearing my glasses with these. But Magnalens reached out and asked me if I wanted to try out some of their glasses. And guys, these are incredible. If you've seen any of my range footage, you've seen me wearing these. These are little magnetic tips, and you add these little wings to your favorite over ears, and then they just snap on just like that. And it is perfect. And I know you can probably hear it, but I'll come a little closer so you can see it. Snaps right on, and you're ready to go. They've got different shades of glasses if you want. These are my favorite. I told them I can't wait for them to come out with some aviator versions because those are my go-to sunglasses. But guys, if you want to get a pair of Magnalens for yourself, I've got a link in the description below as well as in a pinned comment. You can get yourself a discount if you use my link, or you can use code NativeMarksman10 at checkout. Get you guys a discount on these Magnalens glasses. And like I teased at the top of this little segment, we do have this bag, which is actually a range target bag. So, you know what? I was about to set those down. I'll just put them on. This thing, guys, is perfect. I haven't had the chance to take this out to the range yet because I've got some live changes happening right now. But it's the perfect bag for your targets. You can put all kinds of sizes of targets in here, and they're not going to wrinkle. This thing's been in here for a while. I think I've got some other targets in here as well. Haven't even opened this thing in a minute. Yeah, tons of targets in here, guys. This bag is excellent for that. They even made a spot for your staple gun. So they really thought this thing through and built it out themselves. And my discount code NativeMarksman10 will work on this as well, as so does the link. So you can follow the link, you can get a pair of the glasses, or you can get their range back. Either way, you're not going to regret it. Guys, Magnalens, go check them out for the best range accessories on the market today. Magnalens. Now, let's get back to this video. All right, guys, over here at the workbench, we've got the Marlin 336 chambered in 30-30 with the awesomeness that is on this thing. So let's talk about it. We'll go tip to butt. There's nothing up here. I will say one day I would like to get this threaded and suppressed. I don't know what that process looks like threading a barrel like this. So part of me is kind of indifferent about that. I may not end up doing it. It's a good thought, but who actually knows if I'll do that or not. So next we've got the Ranger Point Precision Rail. Now, guys, this thing is awesome. And I've been in love with the modern lever action for quite a while. And when my father-in-law graciously gave me this Marlin, I knew I had to do it. I didn't want to go all the way, which is why I still have the wood stock, but I did want to add this rail. This rail is super lightweight and super easy to install. I also really love that Ranger Point, while their branding is on here, if I can get the camera to focus on it, it's subtle. It's really nice. As I'm a graphic designer, and so I can really appreciate some subtle branding, and I really like that, as well as the whole aesthetics of this rail. Again, super easy assembly, super nice, clean rail. Next, I have a BCM fighter grip down there. I'll probably end up swapping that out maybe for a Die Frico Kung Fu grip, more than likely, or the Tiger Claw, I think is what that one's called. Just because this one's a little bit tall, I do C-clamp this, so it's, I kind of hold it like I would an AR. So that's kind of why that's there, but who knows? It may end up getting changed out and thrown off somewhere sooner, and maybe I'll even get a bipod on this. I haven't had decided all that. I'd like to take this gun out hunting as well. I've got a video, if it's not out yet, I have a video on the Ruger American Ranch. That's my current hunting rifle, but this one will probably be the next one, or at least the bigger game one for whitetail deer and such. But as it stands right now, I love this gun. I've shot several rounds through it, several hundred rounds through it, and I've had a good time. Moving on down a little bit further, we have this 3D printed shell holder. It's fine. That's all I can say about it. It looks cool. Sometimes the rounds will get a bit stuck in there. You can see that one's a bit stuck. This one, that one's really in there. Yeah, that one's good. So you can see there are obviously some issues with it. I will probably end up swapping this out with a Ranger Point one. They've got one that I think holds 6 or 8 instead of just 3. I just really like this angled look, but you get what you pay for. This is 3D printed and it's not that great. And in fact, it's a bit loose. So that one definitely needs to be changed out. So moving down into the internals here, I've replaced the load gate with the Ranger Point load gate. You can kind of see the logo on there right there, really tiny. It just lightens up your load gate a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to run. Next, we have a Ranger Point takedown rail. That one I was okay with doing the logo on there a bit more. They actually have one with a T-Rex on it that I will probably use at some point to make this look like the T-Rex gun. Then we have the Ranger Point medium loop. This was the originally had these Marlin classic loops. It was a bit small, and when it's cold out and I wear gloves, I like to be able to get my hands in there a little bit. I paracord weaved this myself just to kind of protect the hands when you're running that lever. Then I also have a Ranger Point precision trigger in here. That trigger is excellent. If you guys want to see, some of you guys may cringe at me dry firing a lever action, but I'm going to do it anyways because I don't care. This trigger is great. There is no take up. So you'll see, let me pull this up so we can take a look at it. See that? There's no squish, no take up, no nothing. It's literally just boom, break. That thing, when people say the trigger's like glass, I think that gets overused a lot, but this is actually just like breaking glass. Because I mean, look, absolutely no take up. Like there's nothing. There's the wiggle that's there is just trigger. Like there's no take up at all. You literally just, and you're done. That's incredible. And I love that trigger. And guys, even if you don't want to do a full Ranger Point build, definitely take the time and the money to get that trigger and install that trigger yourself. A, gives you a lot of knowledge about the internal workings of this lever action, but B, you're not going to regret that. That trigger is perfect. So the next, got just the Marlin extended hammer there. Never changed that out. Ranger Point makes one, but I like the one that was originally on this. Then we have the SIG LPVO. It's pretty nice. This is the MSR, the 1x6x24. It's got a nice throw lever on it that I really like. The BDC in here is great. It's a good optic. I've had this thing on some ARs and a couple other rifles, and I ultimately decided to put it on this, mostly for aesthetic purposes, but it also gets the job done as far as hunting is concerned. And this is a pretty excellent optic. I would recommend this optic to anybody. I think I got it on Palmetto State Armory when it was on a sale because I don't love spending a ton of money on optics, even though I know it is necessary. Sometimes, caveat there, there are some good budget optics out there. But I did get this one on sale several years ago, so I always kind of keep my eye out for stuff like that. And then next, we've got the Boyd's hardwood gun stock. Guys, this thing to me was the perfect addition to this gun because I wanted to keep it as a good middle between classical and modern. Ranger Point does make a skeletonized buttstock that I like, but I feel like that's more fit for a 357 that you're going to suppress, not a 30-30 that you're going to take out and do things with. So I wanted to keep with this hardwood gun. You can hear it's still hardwood. If I hit the ring on it a little bit, you can hear it. The checkering on here is really nice. Boyd's allows you to pick what checkering you want as well as the color of your wood. So that's why I went with this because you get that like blued look, the black from the rail, and then the black pepper buttstock. It's got a little bit of blue in there, kind of a blue gray, which I really like. But again, that checkering is so nice. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful stock and a beautiful gun. This, I think, goes down as one of those guns that will never go away, never leave my safe until it goes to my children someday. It's a beautiful gun. And a lot of times, even if I don't do anything with this gun, I will take it out, run the action, and just look at it. I mean, this is hands down today my favorite build that I've done. Again, blessed to have a father-in-law that would give me the gun like this. Was super honored when he did that. And I know he's probably a little bit disappointed because it's not the same gun that he gave me because it had the walnut furniture on it, which I did keep. I kept all the original stuff because I do think one day I will get my own lever action, move these parts over, and then move this one back to the original minus the trigger. This trigger is great. Move this one back to the original with the walnut furniture, not only to keep him happy, but I do like the classics as well. I've got one classic wood gun in my safe right now, and so I'd like to have another one. But guys, that is the Marlin 336 with the Ranger Point and Boyd's build. We're going to head back over to the safe and wrap this thing up. All right, guys, so that is the Marlin 336 with the Ranger Point and Boyd's build. What do you guys think? Is this something that you guys are going to do to a lever action for yourself? Is this something you've already done? Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this build and what you've done to your lever actions. Is this the perfect combination of classic and modern? You guys let me know. I really seem to think so. Yeah, I really enjoy this gun. I think it's a blast. And it just, dang, that thing looks so cool. It's almost like a midnight style. It is awesome. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. All of that stuff helps a brother out. Go check out all the links in the description for any kind of discounts you guys need on Quick Strike or Magnolins, whatever it may be. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.